Courtney. Welcome back to Iron Mountain Farm. It's been a very busy week here. We've got some new chicks for our laying flock. Dobby had her baby. The sprouts are sprouting in my greenhouse, and I'm seeing lots of signs of spring. Right here, you can see my daffodils are starting to bud. In my perennial gardens, I can see the chives coming up, and my daylilies. My Helioborus is in bloom. There are some little white crocuses. And if you look really closely at my apple trees, you can see the beginnings of some buds. I love the busyness of spring. I love the warm sun. I love working in my garden. I love seeing the babies. I love planting plants. So for me, this is always a happy time of year, even if it is busy. I'm going to take you in now to see Dobby's new baby. Hi. I wanted to introduce you to the last Iron Mountain kid born this season. This is Dobby's single doe. My daughter named her Chance because, because it's a C name, of course. Hi. Oh, yes, you are so lovely. You're just like your mother. But she was a really bad delivery. Unlike Minna's kids, who came one right after another very quickly and easily, that was not what happened with Chance. And she was big. She was, where are you going there, Katie? Hey. Hi, Cedric. She was 5 pounds, which is large, and she was a singleton, which was why she was 5 pounds. These guys, remember, Minna's babies were 3 pounds each, that's a healthy, normal size for Nigerian dwarf kids, and especially multiples like that. They were a good weight. So to have a 5-pound baby, that's big. And I could tell from the way the labor was going, it was very slow. So my thought had been that the baby wasn't positioned correctly. And sure enough, when it came time for Dobby to push, then she pushed for a long time. And if you watched the last video that I did, hi Corey, are you eating me? The last video that I showed with Minna's babies, she delivered them in about 4 pushes. They really, the recommendation is that they shouldn't be pushing for more than 30 minutes. So when she pushed for more than 30 minutes, I ended up having to go in and see what I could feel. You want to come up? You want to come up? I don't know if Cedric's going to give you any room. At least say hi to everyone. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? Look at those blue eyes. And she's just as gentle as can be. Yes. We're keeping her. We're keeping her. Yes. Because you're so lovely. And we want one of Dobby's babies. Dobby had all boys last year. So this is Dobby's only girl. And we want her. So she's gonna stay here on the farm with us. We're very excited about that because she's just really mellow. And is someone eating my back again? Who is that back there? Hi, Corey. So anyway, what was I talking about here? Because I'm distracted by baby goats. Don't eat the microphone. So I went in. That's right. Chance was stuck. And I went in to see what I could feel. Thankfully, I felt teeth, which meant that at least she was head forward. I was seeing hooves. We had hooves that were coming out, and I could see those. But of course, goats have 4 hooves, so I was uncertain whether they were front hooves or rear hooves until I went in, and that's when I felt teeth. So then I was happy to Blue. I need you to leave the camera alone. Leave the camera alone. Oh my goodness, you guys are trouble today. Stay away from the camera, please. So it was good that I could feel teeth. Um, I was able to give a little bit of traction on the hooves that I felt, that were forward. But even with Dobby pushing and me pulling, we couldn't get her to we couldn't get her to come out. So I was moving her around. I was walking her around to try to get the baby to move. I eventually called, not eventually, I guess probably at about 30 to 40 minutes of pushing. Then I called the vet. And of course, it was 6:30 in the morning. We'd been up all night with Chance. Yes, because Dobby decided to go into labor at 2 a.m. So that was fun. Um, and so I called the vet. The soonest they were going to be able to get the vet to us was 40 minutes, which was feeling long. Leave the camera alone, Corey and Chance. Oh, that was a nice jump, Chance. Corey. Corey, you got to leave the camera alone. You want to say hi? Just say hi. Say hi. Say hi in the camera. Okay. So the vet was 40 minutes away driving to us. So we had at that point decided to that we were going to put Dobby in the car and meet her at the clinic, because then it would only take 20 minutes for her and 20 minutes for us. So in the time that I got the car loaded up, Dobby continued to pace around the barn, and when she was pushing one last time before when I came in to get her to move to the van, and I pulled, and at that point the head had shifted enough that she came out. And was alive, which was really what was most exciting for all of us, is we were not sure, after all of that pushing and the odd position that she was in, if she was going to be alive or not. So she was. We said she was huge. She was over 5 pounds. She was 5 pounds 2 ounces. But she nursed right away. Dobby passed the placenta right away. The vet came later that day. And she was put on penicillin for 5 days, just sub-Q penicillin, because I had to go in, a number of times, and so the risk of infection at that point was more than we wanted to deal with. So we were concerned about her. So, but the vet has been back since then, and everyone's doing well. Everyone's eating. Everyone's doing well. So it was lucky, which is why she got named Chance. Hi, Corey. You haven't been over to hang out on my lap, have you? Hi, Corey. Yes. Here's Dobby coming out looking for her daughter. You're such good jumpers. Nice job. Hi. See the daddies down there? There are Minna and her 3. We've started milking Minna just in the mornings. So the babies are over 2 weeks old. So when they're over 2 weeks old, then we close them off from her for the night and then milk her in the morning, and then let them out. And they've got milk for the rest of the day. Just taking a little adjustment to get back to the milking stand. Hi, Chance. Hi, who's climbing on me? Who's that? They're so cute when they nurse because they squat down and their little tails just wiggle waggle everywhere. Say hi. I'm going to take you inside because I haven't shown you our sprouts in my greenhouse yet. We planted them a couple weeks ago and things are looking good down there. So I wanted to show you what we've got. You can see all the condensation that's on top of everything here. I always try to get as much of the water back into the plants as I can. So here we have the tomatoes for the most part. They look really good. You can see here, these are the cherry and grape tomatoes. These four here are all the Romas, and those back there in the back are Defiant, which are a slicing tomato. So those are doing well. I'm still keeping them covered. Unfortunately, you have to raise the covers on them very slowly, gradually, not slowly, gradually, or they'll dry out. I still have the heat pad on, only because there are some seeds that haven't germinated and they can take a little bit longer. So those all look good there. These are mostly peppers in this tray here, I think. Yes. Now our bell peppers, you remember when I planted the bell peppers, they were 2 packs of old seeds and I didn't have many of them. And sure enough, I think I've got 4 little plants there. Maybe something will show up in there, but I don't know. Peppers take a little bit longer. They're doing the worst of everything. My guess is because of old seeds. I really wanted to try older seeds, just to not have to get new ones. I really should learn to save seeds. If anyone has any tips on seed saving, I would gladly take them. But you can see the Jalafuegos doing fine. Flaming Hearts are doing okay. Banana peppers, none of those came up. And those were seeds just from last year. So, that's not great for those. The basil's doing well. It always does well. So these will end up doing okay, I think. But we did not buy any new pepper seeds this year. So we were expecting this because we didn't get any new ones. This side here, more basil. Basil always does well in our garden. We've got leeks, tomatillos, more leeks back there. And here are the artichokes. I do have actually 4 artichokes coming up. Now, I told you in the past, I have not been successful with artichokes. I did get this far. I put actual plants in the ground, and then in the garden, and then they did not do well there. So again, if anyone has any advice on artichokes, someone who has successfully grown artichokes, I will gladly take your tips on that too. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. I can see that the older seeds didn't do as well, which we knew. This here I'll just show you because it's my daughter's project and it's interesting. She has an herb garden that she's adding more herbs to. She makes goat milk soap, so she dries the herbs, and right now she has lavender. But the dog killed the lavender plant last year, so she's trying to grow some more, and she's got lemongrass started too. So that's my 13-year-old's project. So I'm taking you to all the really pretty rooms of my house here. Just come from the basement, and now you're in my laundry room. This is where we do a lot of stuff on the farm. I wanted to show you my brooder. I just finished cleaning it. We got 6 new chicks last week during my very busy week. I think they're 8 days old now, 9 days old. But I wanted to show you the setup so that you could see what I had before I put them in back in again. I try to keep the flock at like 14 hens, laying hens. We lost 5 of them between like October and now. We had one I think we lost to old age, which is inevitable because I let them live out their lives here. And then we had a few that we lost to hawks, and then we had a fisher cat that really we've never had that before, and it had made a little home under the coop, which is inside an electric fence, interestingly enough. So this was a very determined fisher cat. That problem has been solved. The fisher cat is no longer there. Hawks, as far as I'm concerned, I've been raising hens for 9 years now, so they're really a problem that you can't solve. I find them to be the worst unless they're inside, unless they're undercover under a roof all the time, and we don't do that. So it's worse for us during the fall, winter, spring when the canopy's down. We live in the woods, so when there aren't leaves on the trees, then it makes the hens a lot more visible. Once the leaves come back out, they'll be here in another month or so. Then they have a little more protection. But this time of year is tough. But regardless, this was a lot. We don't usually have this much loss. So we needed 6 more. So let me show you what my brooder looks like. I've used this brooder for many years at this point, and I find that it works really well. So what I have here is really just a Tupperware box, a large one of those large plastic crates. We took it was a project we did with the kids when they were little. We took the top and just sliced out. You can see around the edges here, sliced out the middle and put in some screening, some wire, and it's just attached on with zip ties. So it's pretty simple, and then it just clicks shut here on clicks shut on the edges. So it's worked really well. You'll notice that I use paper towels rather than shavings. I've found that paper towels really work much better than shavings at this point. They're so messy. It's so clean now. And what will happen with this nice full container of food here, I have it elevated, and still within 30 minutes, they will just get that all over the place. They're so wasteful and so dirty, even though they're cute and they eventually lay eggs. Having them in the house is not my favorite. So the paper towels I find are more absorbent. It doesn't get in the water like the shavings do, and it's temporary. So it goes in the compost, the paper towels and everything that's in there. So that's what I do now. But it ends up needing to be cleaned every day or two. So, okay, I'm going to put them back in now. Well, I hope you've enjoyed catching up on everything I've been doing here this week on Iron Mountain Farm. It's been a busy spring. Maybe I've inspired you to pick up some of your own spring projects. Stay tuned for next episode, and please subscribe.